The Soul Solution Method. A 7-step system for activating inner wisdom and gracefully addressing daily life challenges. Based on the book The Soul Solution by Jonathan Parker. Published by Jonathan Parker at Smashwords. 1. What is the Soul Solution? Who are you? Where did you come from? Why are you here and where are you going? Are you just a body with a compilation of memories? Each time you explore these questions, you enter the deepest mysteries of human existence. The Soul Solution Method is about your spiritual journey into healing, personal transformation, and spiritual enlightenment. As you utilize the Soul Solution Method, you will discover you are more than your body or your mind. Who you are is found in the core of your soul. One of the most wonderful discoveries about your soul is that it already has the many wonderful and beautiful qualities that you have admired in revered teachers and others who have tapped the heights of human potential, and so as you deepen your relationship with your soul, these qualities will automatically also emerge in your life. In this article I will reveal to you how you can utilize the Soul Solution Method to tap into deep spiritual wisdom and transform your consciousness. The results of this method set in motion the forces to attract all the wonderful, abundant, and beautiful things to your life that you want, as well as create deep love, fulfillment, and harmony. The Mirror Universe. Everyone has heard the proverb, "You reap what you sow," but most people apply this to very specific circumstances, usually of a negative consequence, like, he wasted his life on gambling and alcohol and now he is reaping what he sowed. But it has a far broader meaning than people know or want to admit. It is so broad, as a matter of fact, that if people really thought about it they would find it frightening, and yet it is also a key to unlocking everything you could ever want. This is one of the most important and profound realizations you can have about life, because it affects literally every experience you have. Consider, while one person is making excuses why something hasn't worked for them, someone else is busy making a success of it with very nearly the same tools and circumstances. Why do things seem to work for some and not others? The answer lies in the second part of the mirror universe phenomenon, and that is that the source or cause of circumstances is usually not immediate. In fact, the origin of the pattern can date back many years or even lifetimes. The beliefs you hold are so intrinsically held in unconscious areas of your mind, that you think who and what you think you are is a fixed identity. But this is not so. If you want to know what you believe, look at your life. It is a reflection of what you believe. You may say, I believe I should be healthy, wealthy, and wise, but my life doesn't reflect it. Well, that may be true, but the reason is that the problem lies in what you believe at the deep levels of your subconscious mind, and not what you think you should have. Of course, all our experiences are based on decisions, choices, experiences, and beliefs we engaged long ago. In addition, everything we think and do every day is feeding into stories which we are continuing to script daily. The stories we tell ourselves today are the scripts we live by tomorrow. When you understand how this works, it will definitely give you a motivation to make you more careful about what you think and do. The trick is finding what you are doing that is creating what you don't want, and discovering what you can do to create what you do want. A background: where did the Soul Solution Method originate? The Soul Solution Method is an outgrowth of my remarkable journeys through spontaneous shifts in consciousness to the discovery of the miraculous transformational and healing qualities of the soul. My first experience occurred in 1976 when I was 31. I had been on a spiritual path since I was a teenager, with a goal of reaching as high a state of spirituality as possible. I was deeply sincere and relentlessly pursuing truth through self-examination and self-discovery when I experienced a dramatic shift in consciousness that elevated me to another world. I remember thinking about Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, who was swept up and she suddenly realized she wasn't in Kansas anymore. Like Dorothy, my world was suddenly and forever changed. One night while sitting back in my chair in my office, I suddenly felt as though I were being pulled through the universe and into a vast expanse of space that was filled with the most loving presence I had ever experienced. I felt as though I were floating in an overwhelming ocean of love, and I was viewing the beginning of creation before any other beings existed. I'm not really sure what triggered this experience, but I was to discover that my transportation into the ocean of love was just one of a series of awakenings that came so rapidly that my life quickly changed. These new revelations shifted my awareness to realize that my view of everything was a massive collection of stories, myths, and perceptions that had been handed to me by others. Now, I could see everything with a new clarity that I had been blinded to. I realized that we are far more than what we think we are physically, and the spiritual aspect of our nature is the greatest resource we all have. The miracle within every being is that each of us is created with the capacity to feel love, experience love, receive love, give love, express love, radiate love, and be love, and by going into our heart, we can connect with our soul and completely reconnect with our divine essence and divine love. That connection with the true nature of our being is a powerful resource that can clear us of our perceived limitations and facilitate our healing physically, mentally, and emotionally. For more than 35 years I have been refining many techniques for reaching the soul and utilizing its qualities and resources through classes, workshops, and thousands of counseling sessions to reveal the secrets of the soul to help people through their pain, struggles, and obstacles to achieve a deeper understanding of their true spiritual nature. EA. The healing power of the soul. Connecting with the soul and integrating it into your life is an empowering experience that melts the core of ego defenses and life blockages that keep you from achieving peace, health, happiness, and self-realization, and replaces it with practical and enlightened soul qualities. The following are just a few of the many letters I have received from people experiencing their soul. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to me before my plane flight. Right now my mind is so clear. I am 62 years old, but right now I feel like 16. Even my handwriting looks different. I feel now I am able to move on. Barbara S. California. I feel like I have an entire acre of room in my body and aura that wasn't there before, and this feels very calming. I also feel a tremendous power and energy boost. The pain in my hip has been significantly reduced and this makes me very happy. Barbara F. New Mexico. I have felt much less tense, and lighter about my situation. I am not as bothered by some of the negative things I have gone through in the past. Also, I am noticing that I am withdrawing myself from negative people and situations much more quickly than I have in the past. Moreover, my energy level has improved and I am moving in a positive direction. E.S. California. I feel that my consciousness level has been raised by several octaves. I feel reborn. Old thought patterns with which I had shackled myself have dissolved almost magically. These thought patterns had been creating undesirable behavior patterns, which were acting as powerful, yet subtle blocks to my evolution and to my ability to relate to those around me with love and compassion. This opened the door to love, compassion and spirituality, which my prior thinking had all but completely blocked. Long-standing barriers to communication, love and compassion have fallen away. LH. Nevada. I am certainly changed. I feel a calmness never before experienced, a quiet thought that all is well and I need not keep beating my head against the proverbial wall. I do feel the lightness of being that you predicted, but much more, a deeper sensitivity to nature, as if I look around and all is, as Wordsworth would say, apparelled in a celestial light, yet a light radiating from within that shines on the world around. The result is a state of being with such feelings of love, unity, words prove inadequate. I've experienced a little of this before in moments, but not as intensely or profoundly as today. I look around and see, as it were, through new eyes, as if all is somewhat etherealized. I'm deep into a honeymoon of consciousness. The world is a different place. Dave Joplin, Ph.D. Salt Lake City, Art. There is a calm and peace and quiet. I feel my soul filling me. I know I'm not done, and that I've still got a long way to go, but this feels like such a major piece fulfilled. Thank you, with all my heart. Bob Rutter, Jacksonville, FL. If. Step 1, Getting to know your soul. Haven't you wondered if you have a soul? Wouldn't you like to know where your soul is and what it does? And perhaps the biggest question is, why can't you seem to find it? Despite the fact that many do not acknowledge the soul exists, an important key to happiness lies in connecting with the soul. I have found that most people can have their own direct experience with it to change their lives. By doing many thousands of one-on-one sessions with people and helping them attune to their soul, I found that the soul enables people to release the energetic causes of all sorts of physical, mental, and emotional issues, thus leaving them with a beautiful experience of deep peace, contentment, love, joyfulness, happiness, and a sense of having arrived at what they knew to be home. When people feel their soul, I often hear them say, "This is what I knew I should feel like. This is who I know I really am." And that is why the soul is also often called the true self. The real person underneath the veneer of struggling, suffering, and pain is an incredibly beautiful, happy, and radiant being. I also discovered that the soul is boundless, fulfilled, satisfied, creative, generous, optimistic, eternal, free, light, timeless, flowing, soft, playful, harmonious, gentle, grateful, receptive, radiant, warm-hearted, in total integrity, thoughtful of the needs of others, non-attached and yet deeply loving and caring, and has a desire to expand into more expression of all of its qualities. Your journey into your soul begins by your wanting to know it better, because your soul has an ever-expanding capability to open and evolve, and it wants to rise to the surface and embrace your life and evolve into something more than what it currently is. As a person integrates the soul more deeply into everyday life, more of the soul's qualities automatically emerge. As you discover more of the soul, you become empowered with dignity, integrity, and virtuousness. You can see that the soul exerts a comprehensive presence. Part of the process of merging with the soul is a recognition that we are evolving beings, and a part of that evolution is the awareness that we are transcendent beings, connected with and an aspect of the divine that created us. While we all experience our souls to greater or lesser degrees, we can all experience our souls more. Guided meditation, your journey to your soul. Let's begin the journey to your soul through a meditative process. You will want to arrange yourself to be as comfortable as possible. I would suggest you do this when you won't be disturbed or have anything else to do. You should silence the phone and take care of anything else that might interrupt you, because you are going to be meditating. When you are prepared, settle in and start with a comfortable deep breath in through your nose and hold it for just an instant before letting it gently out your mouth. You will notice that this starts a relaxation in your body that enables you to begin letting go of the outer world so you can put your attention on your inner world. Read the following sentences in italics slowly to yourself. After you read the statements below, allow yourself to feel what the words express. I ask the light of my soul to fill all my thoughts and feelings. I send all my memories the pure light and blessings of my soul. I allow the source of love to embrace my heart. I acknowledge the divine soul presence within me. These statements are like prayers and intentions. They are requests of the deepest core of your soul where all goodness dwells. You will automatically receive a healing answer to your requests and intentions, whether you are immediately consciously aware of it or not. Allow yourself to deepen into the feelings of receiving the love, light, and healing that lives in your heart. Say to yourself, I acknowledge my soul and divine presence within me. I open to receive infinite love and peace. I feel my soul. Beloved presence of divine love, Help me to receive your presence more fully into my heart. Follow your feelings, and whatever your experience is, return to your heart center and repeat, I feel my soul deeply in my heart. Deep in your heart, sense the presence of peace, love, and light that is being extended to you and is emerging. You may see something visually, or you may experience it more emotionally. Sometimes you may sense or feel a deepening of peace and love, and other times you may just feel relaxed. Whatever you are experiencing, know that it is right for you. You are allowing yourself to deepen into your inner space and discover the gifts that are there for you. The key is to keep asking to open more deeply to receive the beauty, love, and light that are already awaiting you. Say to yourself, I feel the deep peace of my soul. Repeat that sentence a few times with the intention of moving more deeply into peace each time you repeat it. I feel the deep love in my soul. When the soul is present, you will sense a wonderful feeling of expansion, freedom, and connection with all creation. Sometimes the feeling is like floating on a cloud without a care in the world. These are some of the qualities that eventually form the backdrop of what you experience when you integrate the soul into your daily experience. Say these words to yourself, I merge into the pure light of my soul. I bathe in the light of my soul. I merge into the light of my soul. I acknowledge and receive this. Express gratitude for what you have been given today. Make the internal request now to fully integrate all you have explored in this session, and allow this integration process to continue day and night until it is fully complete. You have requested to open to deep transformations, so as you have quiet time, feel into the subtle soul presence and acknowledge it is always with you. When you have finished with this process for this time, be sure to acknowledge yourself fully present and grounded in here and now. This is a beginning for you to form a relationship with your soul. Like anything worthwhile, it takes practice to refine the relationship. In the beginning you may not notice very much happening, but if you keep at it you will find the soul presence emerging and integrating more and more into all your experiences. Step 2. Identifying underlying patterns. Most people struggle with core issues that appear when you go through intense struggles. Core issues carry strong emotions, beliefs, and reactions. When you clear core issues, you become much more empowered to create what you want. Common core patterns center around such things as terror, hatred, fear, anger, worry, feelings of unworthiness, self-doubt, thinking something is wrong with you, thinking you are unlovable, feeling trapped and there's no way out, feeling helpless and hopeless, deep feelings of abandonment, and other similar patterns. The source of core issues is the ego. The ego is a complex system of defense mechanisms that we have all used to navigate through the challenges of life and cope with living in a state of separation from our soul. The ego is responsible for all core issues, such as those I listed as well as others. The Soul Solution method is a tool to remove everything you are not, in order to reveal the truth of who and what you are. As your soul comes more and more present with you throughout the day, you will feel an inner happiness and radiance that you may have only briefly experienced before. Step 3. Disidentifying from underlying patterns. The Soul Solution method has 3 basic steps. First, we must identify the underlying issue or pattern that is causing the pain and struggle. So in the first part of the Soul Solution method you will need to spend some time in self-examination to determine the nature of the conditions in your life. This is most important because you generally only clear what you discover and identify. Ask yourself some questions to help you discover your ego patterns. Ask yourself what you believe about your situations. What do you feel emotionally? What memories arise as you explore your inner space? Answers to questions about these areas will reveal a great deal about how the ego has been working in your life. After the discovery process, the second step is easier. It involves first acknowledging the issue and then recognizing that it is not your soul or your true self. This process is called disidentification. You acknowledge the pattern and then acknowledge that it isn't you. It is not the real you, but rather only an aspect of the false self-ego, and, therefore, you can disidentify from it. In other words, it can be removed or cleared. This may seem obvious, but it is nonetheless important to acknowledge. After disidentifying yourself from the issue, you are ready for the third step, the clearing process, in which the love and light of the soul are engaged to dissolve the issue. This applies to physical, mental, or emotional issues as well as to spiritual blocks and limitations. You can utilize the meditation I gave you earlier as a guide to connecting with the soul and then ask the soul to merge into all aspects of your experience. The soul will automatically begin dissolving the issues. The ego's traits will then loosen their grip and let go. It is also helpful not to refer to the experience in such language as, "I feel angry, afraid, or depressed" is also helpful. Recast the experience as, "The ego feels angry, afraid, or depressed." This shift in perspective helps you let go of owning the experience or letting it own you. The key to the release lies in observing and recognizing the process taking place without putting effort into making it take place. Throughout the process your role is as a detached observer. In other words, you explore the nature of the reaction without becoming swept up by it or engaged in it. Otherwise, you risk identifying with the ego's feelings and become engaged with them and consequently unable to release them. Step 4. Let the soul dissolve patterns. When you stop being distracted by all the things the ego loves to attach to and start looking for the light and presence of the soul, you will realize it has been all around you all the time. By simply stopping what you are doing long enough to invite the light of the soul back in, you will begin to feel the emptiness and suffering melt. This is an initiation of bringing the full awareness of light, the soul, and God into your experience. The release. To move fully into the light and presence of the soul takes complete letting go. There cannot be the slightest attachment to the struggle. You must enter a state of willingness and openness to have your consciousness shift to embrace the light and unity, which will happen spontaneously. Be attentive to the subtleties of struggling, trying, and resisting. The light of the soul is bright, strong, and comforting. Invite more and more of it in, and let it melt all resistance. Notice that as you do this, the light feels so much like home. It brings total comfort, safety, and support. Once you reach this point, you don't do anything to make the shift happen except be present and receptive. Divine intelligence takes over when you surrender. This is the gift of grace. Once you have formulated your intentions, be open and receptive. Allow yourself to receive with no resistance. Repeat these words to yourself: I am willing to surrender and release all attachment, desire, and struggle. I invite the light of the soul to fill me. I am fully in the peace and comfort of the light. I am willing to surrender and release the need for pain and suffering. I surrender and release all aspects of ego and separation. I give my full permission for this process to take place now. The light was always there all the time, but you may have lived as though it were not there and didn't exist. You don't have to try to make the soul do anything. Just invite it in. It knows precisely where to go, what to do, and how to do it. It is like the sun shining inside you, and that sun is your soul. That is who you truly are. Give the light permission to integrate into all areas of your life. You want this light to flow into your work, into your relationships, and into everything that you say, think, and do. This process puts you into a state of mindfulness all the time, and, in fact, dissolves anything that keeps you from being mindful, so it is effortless and automatic. This is your truth. Acknowledge and know that once this process starts, it will continue until it arrives at completion. Keep inviting the process to continue and surrendering to the process a little more each day. VEI. Step 5, Using the Soul Presence to HEAL. If we use the word HEAL as an acronym, then HEAL defines all the major things we want in life. H stands for health, E stands for enlightenment. A stands for abundance. L stands for love. Most people think of healing in relation to health, but healing applies in a broad sense to all four areas, each of which requires expanding your capacity to receive your soul and true self. To begin, you must open the heart center because it is the gateway to blocks and resistance impeding your progress. Once these are cleared, you receive abundant blessings from the soul. In this respect, the heart center also serves as the most easily accessed portal to the soul and the deep core essence of your being. You can begin this process now as you put your attention on your soul center in the center of your chest and request to tune into, connect with, and sense the presence of the highest enlightened awareness of your soul. By making the request and holding the intention, you will begin to open a door that has always been there. This is the door to your real self and a deeper reality than what you are normally aware of with your five senses. Your willingness to surrender and let go of any form of resistance opens the door. A key to healing and arriving at where you want to be is through allowing what you have created to be dissolved by the love and presence of your soul that lives in your heart. Healing and clearing the path to an awakened and enlightened life is the art of learning to bring the presence of the soul into the struggle or lack that covers the deep love and truth that is within. This is accomplished through a process of merging every aspect of who you think you are with your soul in order to experience who you really are. The heartfelt practice to heal. Let's now take this from the discussion of principles to practice. Pick one of the four areas to focus this healing and clearing session on: health, enlightenment, abundance, or love. Next, put your attention on whatever you sense is causing you to hold on to a reaction, block, or limitation. Search for any beliefs you have about it. Get in touch with it first. Ask yourself, what do I believe about this? What conclusions have I come to about this? Summarize what you believe to be true about the situation. Take a little time to do that now. Next, repeat in your mind, I call to the highest enlightened awareness of my soul to merge into all these perceptions. This engages a process, and each time you repeat the request, you go deeper into the process. Repeat in your mind, I call to the highest enlightened awareness of my soul to merge into all these perceptions. Notice what is actually in your heart space now as you have made those requests. You begin to receive the awareness of a new presence emerging that has space for every reaction and perception that come up. Repeat the following phrase a few more times. I call to the highest enlightened awareness of my soul to merge into all these perceptions. Notice the responses to your requests. Sense and notice the awareness of a deepening presence that merges into your consciousness and into your issue. Hold your intention for the process while focusing on the presence in your heart. Observe what is happening in the field of your emerging presence of light and love. You are just observing and receiving. No thinking or doing are necessary. While you are observing your inner space and inner reactions, you will generally find inner voices attached to every perception. These voices hold beliefs, judgments, and opinions about all of your experiences. They may sound something like, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm afraid. I've been abandoned. I'm stuck. I'll never be healed. These are some of the more common voices, but thousands of others may be unique to you and your circumstances. Find and listen to your inner voices and say to yourself, I'm willing to release the need for that voice now. Listen to your inner commentary and surrender the need for it. Take a moment to do this now. Healing is the process of allowing your own creations to dissolve and be replaced by a deeper truth. You unwittingly created most of what you want to let go of, and you probably don't even remember when or how you did it. As long as you are willing to let go of the pain, struggle, and conflict, you can dissolve it through surrender and embracing the enlightened awareness of your soul. The reason the ego holds on to everything so tenaciously is because it's afraid of its own destruction and death. Consequently, it clings to anything that it thinks makes it secure or promotes its existence. But what the ego doesn't know is that the soul can take care of you better than any judgment, emotion, or position it can create. So make the commitment in your heart right now to dissolve and let go of anything you have created and carry with you that is not leading to health, enlightenment, abundance, and love. You ultimately want a complete and total letting go of anything that causes you to fear or get upset, including any judgments or reactions. Take a gentle deep breath now and release anything that comes up. Bring healing love to the parts of yourself that have been holding on to the pain. Embrace the pain by calling to your very soul to merge into the darkness. Ask the soul, which is love, light, joy, and purity, to merge into the pain. Allow yourself to fill with the natural love and light that is the truth of your soul. Attune yourself to this process. You've made a request, now allow yourself to receive the gifts. When you make a request, the answer is automatic. Relief comes in the form of peace and presence. Your request naturally brings a clearing away of the issue, which is immediately followed by a deepening state of peacefulness. This is a very deep, peaceful, calm, and expansive state that allows you to float in the embrace of divine presence. Sometimes a lightness of being accompanies it. Sometimes you might experience bliss and a sense of well-being. Everyone experiences this moment a little differently because happiness and bliss manifest in many ways. Just allow yourself to be open and receptive. Relax and rest in this receiving state for a little while. Step 6. Healing your inner child. One of the curious things I've noticed about issues is how their energy patterns and programs are stored within us. In other words, you may think you have an emotional issue or feel your life is stuck or some aspect of your life doesn't really seem to work, but that is only part of the story. Components of every issue you want to release are actually stored in multiple places. We are a bit more complex than just a soul in a body. Our various traits are like programs running in a computer network. If you release a conscious belief but you haven't cleared it from the subconscious, you may find that it recurs. So if you have had some challenges releasing, clearing, or changing areas of your life, it is likely because the pattern may still reside somewhere within your complex makeup. When you are releasing an issue or pattern, hold the intention of releasing at all levels. This is one of the reasons why many people have been working on the same issues for 10, 20, 30 years, or more. Meet your inner child. Most problematic issues began in childhood. These patterns are found in what is often referred to as the inner child. Your inner child is composed of stored emotions, memories, beliefs, and reactions from the perspective you had as a child. In addition, on a physical level, much programming seems to be at the cellular level or DNA level. Heredity factors have been handed down from generation to generation. What this means is that if you are descended from a family that has anger issues or aggressive tendencies, you may have to deal with those patterns yourself. If you are from a family that has strong victim energies, then you are likely to have to deal with those issues. These factors affect a person's deep core conditioning. The inner child is composed of memories, reactions, and conclusions acquired from the perspectives gained when a person was a child. Childhood memories acquired in a restricted, rigid, and severe home life are retained, as are the memories of a loving and supportive childhood. Knowing about the relationship of the child to his or her family is important. If the child doesn't feel safe at home, the person may not feel safe later in life. If this is the case, fear may become a prime motivator. This could lead to feeling uncomfortable around people or feeling self-conscious. As a result, a person could develop a variety of compensations to deal with these patterns. For instance, perhaps a child might withdraw into the mind and become very intellectual, or maybe he or she will become athletic and powerful to keep threats away. Each child will compensate differently. Give your inner child permission to receive the fullness of deep healing, love, and nurturing as the soul embraces all your childhood memories. Listen with your feelings. Let the soul and divine presence into your heart and consciousness and embrace your child. Trust your intentions. Trust your intuition. Trust the soul solution method. Allow your inner child to receive the gifts the soul has to give. Receive healing, acceptance, unconditional love, and peace. Step 7. Falling in love with your soul. As you read Step 7, hold the intention of connecting with the feelings and sensations of deep soul love, which will start to open your heart center. This, in turn, will lead you to a deeper spiritual love. The deep love is only accessed through the soul, and a simple way to initiate your connection with the soul is to focus your attention in your heart and soul center in the middle of your chest and call to the soul with words such as "I love you, my soul. I feel the love of my soul." In the beginning, as you repeat these words, you may not notice anything different, but if you make this a meditative practice and repeat the words many times while holding a deep and sincere desire to feel the love of the soul, you will eventually notice an extraordinary presence emerging all through you. Your soul is you, so you can connect with it even though you may need to practice this for a while before you are sensitive enough to actually feel its presence. Some practice is likely to be necessary because this is something that by and large most people are not accustomed to doing, and the mind distracts a person from being aware of the soul's presence. By focusing on the heart and the sensations and feelings of love within the heart, you will find that the mind and emotional reactions are left behind. Meditating on opening the heart to deep love melts the mind and emotions in the ocean of love and light. To begin this process, focus on your heart and soul center and hold the intention to go deep within your being to connect with your soul at the deepest levels. In the realm of your spiritual work, your intentions are what bring about the reality that you experience. Self-discovery is about discovering love because love is your nature. It is the nature of what you are below the traits of the ego. So what you are looking for is the deep soul love, and that love is also the path home. A self-guided meditation into the soul love process. Arrange yourself comfortably now for the meditation. Arrange your body so there is nothing uncomfortable or distracting. Take a deep breath in through your nose and then let it gently out your mouth. Feel your breath coming in and going out, and notice how good you feel when you are relaxed deeply inside. You have nothing else to do now, so just let go of the outer world so you can turn your awareness to your inner realms. Begin to open your heart to receive love, much like you would open your arms wide to embrace a loved one. Hold the intention to expand your capacity to feel and receive love. As you inhale, imagine you are opening to receive the peace, clarity, and love of your soul. As you breathe out, let go of whatever has been keeping you from feeling love, clarity, and peace. Invite your mind to relax and let go and release all holding and resistance. Focus all your intentions on opening to deep, heart-centered soul love. Let love free your mind from its activities. Say to yourself, "I give myself permission to receive more grace, love, and divine presence." As the mind settles and becomes quiet, you then become more aware of the divine presence that has been waiting there. It is always there, of course, but the mind, the emotions, and the outer world cover it. Breathe love deeply in and out with each breath. Breathe the love in through every pore of your body. Experience the love until you realize that love is the fullness of your nature and awareness. Open a little deeper now to the expanse of the deep love presence filling the space all around you. Welcome it in deeper and deeper. Take a few minutes to let yourself feel the love and open your heart to receive deep love effortlessly. Follow these thoughts in your mind and connect with them. I am willing to surrender my need for all thoughts and beliefs that I am not worthy or capable of deep love. I am willing to surrender and release the need to believe that I haven't practiced love long enough. By surrendering all that you think love is, you open yourself to embrace a deeper experience of love. One of the differences between the love you have known and the deep love of which I speak is that the love most people talk about is associated with an emotional feeling. You've probably used phrases such as, "I feel love," or I feel like I am in love. The deep soul love, however, is a love you become. It is not just something you feel emotionally that comes and goes. It is much more inclusive, expansive, experiential, and sustained. Now focus on your intention and sincere desire to open your heart more fully to deep soul love, and repeat the following statements silently and make them your own. I surrender to deep love. I surrender my heart to deep love. It is my intent and my desire to be love. I feel love. I am love. There are progressive levels of merging as you immerse yourself deeper and deeper into a reality beyond the mind. More and more you feel the peace, stillness, and deep sense of well-being that comes from transforming your consciousness beyond the difficulties, pain, and limitations of the mind and the senses. For a few minutes in a day or maybe longer, you will sense yourself merging into a vaster reality where the problems that surrounded you in the past much of the time no longer exist. The more you practice the deep soul love process, the more you will experience all of the soul's qualities. The path to full enlightenment is through the heart, not the mind, so keep intending to open your heart more and more to receive all the gifts that the open heart offers. Observe your feelings. Feel your soul and spirit. Be your soul and spirit. Follow these thoughts and speak them in your mind. I open my heart now to merge more and more deeply into deep love. I allow pure, deep love to merge deeply into my heart. Notice what you are sensing and feeling, and merge into the feelings of the soul throughout your body as you move deeper and deeper, absorbing love. Invite deep love to fill every structure within you. Let everything within you unlike love melt, disappear, and vanish in the presence of love so that only love remains. The love that is experienced beyond the mind is total and encompassing. The love that belongs to the outer world is just a pale reflection of this real, deep love on the level of the soul. The soul love is deeply complete, and over time it becomes even deeper and richer as you practice receiving it in meditation. As you return to your normal awareness from these loving and blissful states, realize you can return to them again at any time. Conclusion. You may sense your connection with your soul in your heart center, but actually it fills you everywhere. Your soul is inside of you and outside of you, but it is easier to connect with the soul by putting your focus on your heart center, so that is the method I suggest you use. When you connect with this deep aspect of the soul, you experience unity consciousness or enlightenment. I often refer to this as its highest enlightened awareness. As you integrate this state of awareness more and more, it takes over the operation of your mind and energy field, and you no longer live your life through the drives and needs of the ego. Until this state is completely integrated through all levels of consciousness, one may shift back and forth from the ego state to the peaceful unity state. My goal is to help you arrive at the doorway of enlightenment. If you are diligent with all the work and practices, the divine source of all will take you through that doorway. Some can do this more quickly than others, but for most it takes a number of years. For others an entire lifetime may be required. However, regardless of how much time may be necessary, 3 steps can accelerate your journey to reaching the enlightened state. First of all, some sort of meditation practice is fundamental because it loosens the mind's grip and thus allows the inner connections with the soul and divine presence. The more you connect with the mind and the soul at all levels through meditation, the more the soul replaces the ego's role in your life. Second, clearing or healing the ego patterns is necessary. Engaging in transcendent meditations is not enough without also removing the illusions, karma, blocks, and limitation patterns that are held in more places than the mind. If they are not eliminated, they will continue to pull a person back into ego reactions and an ego-programmed life. The third ingredient needed to reach and maintain an enlightened state is life skills, which includes integrity, honesty, virtue, generosity, self-responsibility, loving in all relationships, kindness, and politeness in interactions with others. Maturing in these 3 phases is a process, and for this reason enlightenment itself is an ongoing process rather than a one-time event. Meditation connections. In meditation you can learn to still the mind and the senses so that you can directly experience the inner reality of the heart and soul. Otherwise, your everyday awareness dominated by the mind distracts you from the qualities of the soul. All spiritual paths have recognized the dilemma the mind creates and developed techniques to deal with or bypass the distractions of the mind. Love is one of the most effective tools. A reason why love is important lies in its ability to take you beyond the mind, and since the mind is the primary obstacle you face on your spiritual journey, love is a most important aspect of that journey. A good time to practice meditation is early in the morning because then fewer thoughts intrude because you have not been saturated by the activities of the day. Meditating before falling asleep is also a good practice as long as you can do it without drifting off to sleep. Generally, I am an advocate of meditating when you feel in the mood, but don't use not being in the mood as an excuse not to meditate. If you start a meditation but find it is not working, postpone it until another time. Sometimes you will feel an inner calling to meditate. Then, if possible, turn away from outer activities and sit in silence and enter into the innermost depths of the heart for as long as seems appropriate. As you deepen into your meditation practice, you will find that you can travel deeper and eventually dissolve into the limitless ocean of love beyond the euphoria and blissfulness. I offer hundreds of guided meditation practices at www.jonathanparker.com to help you achieve whichever aspect of health, enlightenment, abundance, love, you are working on in your journey. I hope you have enjoyed this report. If you know someone who might benefit from this report, please pass it along to them. I wish you much success on your inner journey. From the heart. About Jonathan Parker. For over 30 years, Jonathan Parker has been a counselor, author, and creator of one of the largest libraries of audio recordings for personal enrichment and self-directed growth in the world. To date, people in more than 75 countries around the world have benefited from his audio programs, meditation retreats, classes and workshops. To download free positive affirmations, meditations and subliminal programs, visit http://www.jonathanparker.org. The Soul Solution on jonathanparker.org. Greater, make sure to visit the Soul Solution section of my website to access free audio meditations and discussions plus many additional soul-related resources. Visit http://www.jonathanparker.org/land/soul solution.